Module 1, Culture. Unit 2, Respecting Cultures. Mentoring Matters. As a mentor, you will have the opportunity to mentor selected pupils from schools, hospitals, and nursing homes in your area, collaborate on creative projects and learn new skills, encourage individual aspirations for education and employment, break down barriers in your community. Mentoring opened many doors for me. It made me realize the different ways I could make use of my time and how fun it is to work with others. We are looking for successful professionals and students to join our exciting initiative throughout Kuwait. Discuss. Exercise 1. Listen to the previous leaflet and then discuss these questions. A. Why are they looking for successful professionals and students? B. Who can benefit from being mentored? Think about these groups: teenagers, young adults, middle-aged, and elderly people. C. How can mentoring schemes help build relationships in your community? Exercise 2. Look at the photograph on page 18 in your student's book, the fact file, and the headings of the article on page 19. Then answer these questions. A. What does the United Nations logo stand for? B. Discuss with a partner the facts about the United Nations in the fact file. Did you know about any of them? Do you know other information about the United Nations? C. What is the main purpose of the UN? D. What is the topic of the article? What kind of information do you think will be included? Exercise 3. Now, listen to the article and the fact file and check your answers to questions of exercise 2. Fact file. The UN was officially founded on 24th October 1945. At the time, it consisted of 51 member states. Currently, the UN has 192 member states. The UN meets to discuss disagreements and to agree on rules and laws through which countries can work together and live harmoniously. The meeting for the culture of peace was held in New York on the 12th and 13th of November 2008. More than 70 heads of state attended the meeting. Culture of Peace. On the 12th November 2008, world leaders met in New York for a UN General Assembly meeting on the culture of peace. This meeting emphasized the need for everyone to respect different cultures, religions, and races. It also sought to emphasize our common humanity and shared moral values. The participants of the meeting have called for the promotion of a culture of tolerance and mutual understanding. They have suggested that the best way this can be achieved is through international, intellectual, and interfaith dialogue. Kuwait's role in the conference. Kuwait was one of over 70 member countries that sent delegates to the conference. His Highness the Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, addressed the conference in a speech emphasizing the importance of dialogue between different cultures. He called on leaders of all countries and creeds to engage in peaceful dialogue. By the end of the conference, he had also met with numerous world leaders in private meetings. What has Kuwait done to further the culture of peace? Kuwait has been a key innovator in furthering the culture of peace. Kuwait has organized conferences in London and Washington to promote mutual understanding and respect. Within Kuwait, the government has arranged seminars and programs to raise awareness, and promote respect and understanding amongst Kuwaiti citizens. Kuwait has also sponsored many regional and international conferences about religious tolerance among peoples and respect for the followers of other religions. With all of these activities, Kuwait is an exemplar of the kind of tolerance, dignity, and respect that all people should aspire to in the hope of making the modern world a better place. As Ban Ki-moon, the Secretary General of the UN, has said, one of the great challenges of our time must now surely be to ensure that our rich cultural diversity makes us more secure, not less. Check your understanding. Exercise 4. Listen to the article again. Are these statements true or false? Justify your answers. A. The meeting's main emphasis was upon the lack of respect and values in the modern world. B. More than 70 nations sent delegates to the conference. C. Kuwaiti citizens have organized conferences for the government. D. Ban Ki-moon encouraged cultural diversity. Exercise 5. Complete these sentences using words from the article. Words can be used only once. A. The meeting sought to emphasize our common gap. B. Kuwait has organized several conferences to raise gap of moderation and understanding. C. Over 70 countries sent gap to the meeting. D. It is important to gap the followers of other gap. Think and speak. Expressing personal opinions. Exercise 6. The Culture of Peace meeting aimed to show that everyone should treat each other with respect and tolerance. A. Why is it important to respect and tolerate other people and other faiths? B. What can be done to ensure people treat each other with respect? Grammar. Present perfect. Grammar reference pages 125-126. Exercise 1. Listen to sentences 1 to 4 from the article on page 19. A. What is the difference between sentence 1 and sentences 2 to 4? 1. On the 12th November 2008, world leaders met in New York. 2. They have suggested that the best way this can be achieved is through dialogue. 3. Kuwait has organized conferences in London and Washington. 4. Kuwait has also sponsored many regional and international conferences. B. Write 2 sentences telling only that something happened and 2 sentences telling that something happened and when it happened. Exercise 2. We can use the present perfect to say how long someone has done something for. The term Islamic art refers not only to religion, but to the richly diverse Islamic culture as well. Islamic art, such as architecture, calligraphy, and literature, has been inspirational to many other artists throughout the world and has been consistently produced since at least the 7th century. You can find out more information about Islamic art this week at the Kuwait Book Fair, which has run for over 30 years. A. Which sentence in this paragraph introduces a length of time? B. Which sentence introduces a particular time? Exercise 3. A. Think about any interesting experiences you have had related to Islamic culture. For example, 1. A famous mosque you have visited or seen. 2. Different kinds of food you have eaten during Ramadan. 3. Experiences of Islamic culture in other countries. 4. Different skills you have mastered. B. Write sentences like this. I have seen a rare copy of the Holy Quran. I have visited the largest mosque in Europe. C. Now use them to make conversation with a partner. Prepositions: on, amongst, in, for, of, with, at, by. Grammar reference page 126. Exercise 4. A. Complete the sentences with the correct prepositions. Gap 1. The 12th November 2008 world leaders met. Gap 2. New York. Gap 3. A UN General Assembly. Gap 4. The culture. Gap 5. Peace. Kuwait took part. Gap 6. The meeting. Gap 7. The end of the conference. His Highness the Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Sabah al-Ahmed al-Jaber al-Sabah, had also met. Gap 8. Numerous world leaders in order. Gap 9. Raise awareness of respect and understanding. Gap 10. Kuwaiti citizens. B. What difference in meanings does each preposition have? Quote: Great art can communicate before it is understood. T.S. Eliot. Vocabulary: verbs with similar meanings. Exercise 1. Answer these questions about listen to and hear. A. Which verb means 1. To receive a sound in your ears, listen to or hear. 2. To pay attention to a sound, listen to or hear. B. Complete these people's words with the correct form of hear or listen to. Turn the TV down. I can't. Gap you very well. Are you? Gap me. Did you? Gap what I said. I always. Gap the 9 o'clock news. Gap did you? Gap that strange noise. I love. Gap music when I'm traveling. Exercise 2. Listen to these sentences with the correct form of look at, watch, or see. A. Gap those people over there. What are they doing? B. I can't. Gap very well without my glasses. C. The police. Gap a house in our street. They think criminals are using it. D. If you. Gap my brother. Tell him I'll phone him tomorrow. E. You shouldn't. Gap the sun. It can damage your eyes. Exercise 3. Listen and complete these mini dialogues. A. Walid. What did Badr? Gap Ahmed. He. Gap he's learning to. Gap English. B. Walid. She. Gap she used to live in Kuwait City. Is that true? Ahmed. Yes, of course. She never. Gap lies. C. Walid. Hello, this is Walid. Can I. Gap to Omar, please? Ahmed. I'm sorry, he's out. I'll. Gap him you phoned. D. Walid. Can you. Gap That again, please. I couldn't hear you. Ahmed, the problem is everyone in the room gap at the same time. Pronunciation. Exercise 4. Listen and repeat these sentences.
Unit 2, 2.1, page 21, exercise 4. A.
That was a good film.
B.
That was a good film.
C.
The story was excellent.
D.
The story was excellent.
Speaking. Conducting a survey. Listen. Exercise 1. You are going to hear someone doing a survey in Kuwait City. Listen and answer these questions. A. What is the subject of the survey? B. What are the interviewer's 2 questions? C. Why is it a useful survey?
2.3, page 22, exercise 1. 1.
Hello. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Sure. What about?
Well, the topic is respect. Is that okay?
Of course.
Okay. First of all, what does respect mean to you?
For me, respect is a way of life. No matter where we are or what we are doing, we should always act respectfully.
I see.
Respect is about admiring each other's differences and not disrespecting each other.
Thank you. And my second question is, what do you think we need to respect more?
I always respect the environment as much as I can. I think it's important to respect nature's resources as well as our history and culture.
Thank you very much.
That's all right.
2.
Good morning. Is it okay if I ask you a few questions?
Yes, that's fine. But you'll have to be quick. I haven't got much time.
Thank you. It won't take long. Could you tell me, please, what does respect mean to you?
Interesting question. I know some people say respect doesn't mean as much as it used to, but I think they are wrong. I'm a young person, and respect means a lot to me and my friends. You might not like everyone and everything, but you should respect them.
Thank you. I have another question, if you have time.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, so what do you think we need to respect more?
I think it's important to respect our neighbours. Whenever I meet somebody new, I always consider them as my neighbour. They might be different to me, but I still respect them. It's about tolerance.
3.
Excuse me, would you mind if I asked you some questions?
No, not at all. What would you like to know?
Firstly, I'd like to know what the word respect means to you.
That's easy. For me, respect is what brings our society together. We should respect everything. Our family, our education, our history, even people we don't know. But most of all, we should respect ourselves.
Thank you. Second of all, what do you think we need to respect more?
I always respect my elders. I know a lot of people who are older than me, and I consider them as my friends, not as old people,
Why is that?
because I think it's important to learn from other people's experience and wisdom.
That's a good point. Thanks for your time.
That's okay.
Exercise 2. Listen again and answer these questions. A. How does Ahmed think we should conduct ourselves? B. Why does Samia think some people are wrong? C. What does Samia describe as being about tolerance? D. Does Fahad have any older friends? Why? E. Who else does he respect?
2.3, page 22. Exercise 1. 1.
Hello. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Sure. What about?
Well, the topic is respect. Is that okay?
Of course.
Okay. First of all, what does respect mean to you?
For me, respect is a way of life. No matter where we are or what we are doing, we should always act respectfully.
I see.
Respect is about admiring each other's differences and not disrespecting each other.
Thank you. And my second question is, what do you think we need to respect more?
I always respect the environment as much as I can. I think it's important to respect nature's resources as well as our history and culture.
Thank you very much.
That's all right.
2.
Good morning. Is it okay if I ask you a few questions?
Yes, that's fine. But you'll have to be quick. I haven't got much time.
Thank you. It won't take long. Could you tell me, please, what does respect mean to you?
Interesting question. I know some people say respect doesn't mean as much as it used to, but I think they are wrong. I'm a young person, and respect means a lot to me and my friends. You might not like everyone and everything, but you should respect them.
Thank you. I have another question, if you have time.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, so what do you think we need to respect more?
I think it's important to respect our neighbours. Whenever I meet somebody new, I always consider them as my neighbour. They might be different to me, but I still respect them. It's about tolerance.
3.
Excuse me, would you mind if I asked you some questions?
No, not at all. What would you like to know?
Firstly, I'd like to know what the word respect means to you.
That's easy. For me, respect is what brings our society together. We should respect everything: our family, our education, our history, even people we don't know. But most of all, we should respect ourselves.
Thank you. Second of all, what do you think we need to respect more?
I always respect my elders. I know a lot of people who are older than me, and I consider them as my friends, not as old people.
Why is that?
Because I think it's important to learn from other people's experience and wisdom.
That's a good point. Thanks for your time.
That's okay.
Exercise 3. A. What language does the interviewer use to make the interviewee comfortable? B. What language does the interviewee use to express opinion? Do a survey. Exercise 4. Work in pairs. You are going to do a survey among the other students in your class on the topic of respect. Follow these stages. A. Write survey questions to ask other students. Leave space to write answers. Note, every student should have a list of questions. B. Practice asking and answering questions with your own partner. Use your own ideas and expressions from the useful language box below. C. Find other pairs of students Take turns to interview each other. As you do this, write down the other student's name and answers. D. Ask as many classmates your questions as possible. Exercise 5. Now tell the class what you have found out from your survey. Useful language. 1. Starting a conversation. Hello, good morning, excuse me. 2. Asking permission to ask questions. Could I ask you a few questions? Is it okay if I ask you a few questions? Would you mind if I? 3. Agreeing to answer questions. Yes, that's fine. Yes, sure. Yes, okay. 4. Thanking. I appreciate it. I am grateful. Thanks for your time. 5. Responding to thanks. That's all right. You're welcome. That's okay. Writing. A review. Task. You are going to write a review of a book you have read. Listen and analyze. Exercise 1. Listen to these 2 book reviews quickly. Which is a review of a book about? A. History. B. Travel writing. Exercise 2. Listen to the reviews again and answer these questions. A. Are the reviews good, bad, or mixed? B. What did the writers like or dislike? Review 1. Ibn Battuta's account of this 30-year journey is a fascinating book. Born in Tangier in 1304, he left home for Mecca at the age of about 20. Then he traveled through 44 countries including Jordan, Egypt, Turkey, India, and even China. He covered about 75,000 miles. Ibn Battuta's account includes descriptions of his pilgrimages, the cities he stayed in, local tales, and sea adventures. So, this is a book that everyone will enjoy. His memory of the events and places was amazing, and you will remember his stories for a long time too. This is an excellent account of an amazing lifetime of traveling. Review 2. Ibn Khaldun, the Muqaddimah, is one of the most important historical works ever written. Ibn Khaldun, the author, was born in Tunis in 1332 CE and was a high-ranking political figure. The work was groundbreaking and discussed many important theories which are still relevant today. Because of its complex content and purpose, the book is not easy to read. However, it is well written and well organized. Reading the Muqaddimah will make you think, and it will change your view of the world. Exercise 3. Find 3 facts and 3 opinions in each of the reviews. Plan your review. Exercise 4. A. Choose which book to review. Why do you respect it? B. Use a mind map to make a list of important facts. C. Make a note of your opinions. Use another mind map of adjectives and expressions you might use. Write. Exercise 5. A. Write a general review in about 150 to 170 words. Use your notes from exercise 4 and the useful language box. B. Check your spelling, grammar, punctuation, and style. C. Exchange reviews with another student. Does your partner's review give you enough information? If not, ask him or her questions. Useful language. 1. Expressing personal opinions. This is a book that everyone will enjoy. It is a fascinating book. It is well written or organized. 2. Making recommendations. If you get the chance, read. This is an excellent account of. You will learn a lot from it.